Hello everybody, Mr. Biverson here. I'm going to talk you through the design argument and whether or not it proves God's existence through studying what it is, what are its strengths, and what are its weaknesses. This is where it comes in the year 10 big picture. You can ignore that. Now, it's also known as the argument from design and the teleological argument. So if you see those referenced anywhere, it's the same thing. It's put forward by William Paley, who lived between 1743 and 1805. He's the guy in the hat on the right-hand side there. Now, his design argument said this, using a simple analogy. Analogy is a comparison between two things and pointing out a similarity. If we come across a watch, we would conclude that all the parts fitted together for a purpose and did not come into existence by chance. There must have been some sort of designer for the watch, and he says an intelligent person would work that out. He said in the same way, if we look at the world, we can infer a designer too, because of the way in which things fit together for a purpose. For example, Paley thought that a similar conclusion might be drawn from the intricate mechanisms of the human body, and he particularly used the example of the eye and the way in which it is adapted for sight. Very complex part of the body, the eye, with the retina and the pupil, etc. And he used that as an example to say this is such a complex mechanism. Just like the watch, it must have a designer. Such evidence, he argued, could only be the result of a designing creator, which for Paley was God. And there are a lot of other examples you could use for evidence of design and complexity in our world. You could use laws of science, physics, biology, chemistry, the law of gravity. You could use the regularity of the seasons. You could use how animals seem to have adapted to their surroundings and have design in their bodies. Of course, this was before Darwin brought in the idea of natural selection and evolution. However, we haven't yet explained scientific laws by evolution just yet, so that possibly still stands. So in summary, through picture form, pictures A, B and C here, I think I've showed this to my classes, a watch, a woodpecker and a picture of God there by William Blake. The watch is relevant because William Paley said all these interlocking parts didn't come together by chance. They're obviously put together by a designer for a purpose to help people tell the time. In the same way, the woodpecker has got a beak which looks designed to peck wood. Therefore, this is an example of design in nature. And this must all be down to some sort of creator, some sort of crafter. You can see the picture here. God is using his fingers to create things, and he must be the designer of the world and the universe. Now, there are a lot of strengths to this argument. First of all, it is hard to deny the presence of complexity and order in the universe. Immanuel Kant, who was a very famous German philosopher, said, "This proof always deserves to be mentioned with respect, simply because it's hard to deny that there is complexity out there. It's not a simple universe we live in." It relies upon observable evidence, so the evidence it needs we can see all around us. And it is compatible with the Big Bang and evolution, because one could argue the universe could have been designed to evolve and creatures designed to evolve, and there was an initial designer who set the wheels in motion. And it also provides a purpose to our universe.